it's new from the store, these are the things that you can hold for there, sell it, and write in the big letters chametz, so nobody would come close to it and open it.
Okay, now if I have the freezer, the chametz, can I use the bottom of the fridge? In the basement.
The bottom will be for Pesach, right?
Fridge, yeah.
Right, so you just cover the top, make sure nobody opens the top.
Okay, what if I designate a chametz shelf, one shelf?
For Pesach?
No, for chametz, and then the
No,
rest is Pesach thing.
During Pesach?
Yeah.
Usually we don't do that. We don't do that usually, because people make mistakes. It's so close to you.
Only I go downstairs, so I know it.
No, it's not in the way
No? Okay, if I have it in the freezer upstairs,
What?
if I have a little drawer there with chametz, it's not chametz gamur, but things like raisins, dates, they're not chametz. I mean, maybe they're chametz. I don't know. Can I leave it there?
Okay.
Can I store it?
Okay, when they dry fruits, sometimes we don't know exactly what's the process that they use for drying fruits. It could be that they used it in the chametz ovens. It could be, so they're not kosher for Pesach.
Right.
If you're going to take it out from the refrigerator and leave it in the basement in a different cabinet, just for Pesach, just for Pesach, but it's a chametz cabinet, nothing is going to happen to it. It doesn't have to be in the freezer all the time. This kind of stuff that will not rot or will not spoil if it's not going to be. I have, let's say, also some beans and stuff that usually I keep it in the refrigerator downstairs in the basement. But for Pesach, I take it out and put it in one of the, usually basement is cold, so you can leave it, nothing. I remember I once made a jam that I did myself, first time I ever did a jam. And it was so important to me that I didn't want to throw it. And I put it in one of the cabinets and I said to myself, let's see, if it stays, so it's good. If it doesn't stay, I'll throw it. And so nothing happens to it. It's fine. So you try to make your, because you don't know, sometimes guests are coming. You need the room, you need a place. And then, you will send one of your kids over there. And then there will be a mix-up. We don't want this to happen. Okay? Oven. Oven is the hardest, oven and the stove. Sometimes it's separated, so let's start with the oven and then we'll go to the stove later. So oven, better not too kosher for Pesach. Okay? Better, all the rabbis say that. Better not too kosher for Pesach.
But if you have self-cleaning oven?
Even self-clean, they're not so crazy about this.
What do you say? Are you saying that not to use on Pesach?
Not too kosher, huh? Not to use it for Pesach.
Not to use for Pesach?
Not to use it for Pesach. Better not.
But it makes it so much harder.
Not to use it that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get used to it.
No, I didn't use it for a long time, and then once I got the new oven and then self-cleaning, I think I read it somewhere that I can use it. I don't. And it's so much easier. It's just a day and night. It's a different experience.
Okay. I agree with you. I agree with you. It's so much easier. But that's what they say. Now, if people have to, when they get a permission and they tell you that it's okay. So again, as I said, not to use it for 24 hours. Okay. Then you spray this shumanit or easy off or whatever strong detergents that sprays or whatever. You leave it overnight or for a few hours. Okay, and then you start scrubbing it and cleaning it. Make sure you clean all the walls and there and on top and everything. Take off the trays from there, spray it also and clean them also. The trays you're not going to use anyway. You can clean it if you want, but it's nothing to do with your kosher Pesach oven. You will remove it. You will need new trays for Pesach. And after you cleaned it, and pay attention to the little details, where the screws are, where the rubber around, let's say, the window for the door of the oven, or paying attention to the opening, to these, to whatever, the shelves, whatever. After you finish and you wiped it and it's clean and everything, you have to put it on the highest heat for the longest time. Meaning, if you usually bake for 2 hours, put it 2 hours and something for the highest heat for a longer time. If it's a self-clean, usually it will instruct you, you use it, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, self-clean, very high heat, and so you'll put this high heat for this long time. Hopefully it will burn whatever was there before. This is how we clean the oven. Microwave, they say, better not to. But if people have to, and microwave, and a dishwasher, and some other electric things that we use, think about this. We have 2 days of holiday, then we have Shabbat, and we have another 2 days of holiday. Not so many chances that you will have to use this, the dishwasher and the microwave. Don't bother. I mean, you can clean it, but don't. It's better not to. That's what they say always. If you have to clean microwave, so clean it very good with strong detergents. Pay attention to details. Pay attention to that. And after you have cleaned everything and you didn't use it, of course, for 24 hours, you put a cup, a plastic cup with soapy water, or soapy water, that's what they say. Let it go on the highest heat for some time. They say until water will vaporize from that cup and it splashes water all over, and this is how it cleans it. If you have
Even on highest on the microwave.
what?
What do you put on
Or to
high?
put on a high for 5 or 10 minutes for a long time.
But the plastic cup's gonna burn out, no?
Yeah.
Plastic cup burns out. You
Like
put usually
this?
plastics.
Like this?
No, plastic. You put
Hard
plastic
plastic.
stuff inside.
Hard
Plus
plastic.
container.
Hard plastic, yeah.
Okay.
Plus container.
Container. Plastic cup, yeah.
Is it true that you could put in like a thing of water and put it for the longest time you use the microwave?
The longest time you use the microwave?
Yeah.
How long people use the microwave for?
2 minutes.
We don't use the longest.
Depends if
No,
you're
some
cooking. Some people do.
microwaves are for cooking too, right? That
Right.
you can use it for a longer time. Usually there's instruction that you can. I have in my, we have 6 minutes, we have I don't know how many minutes. So, dishwasher, not used 24 hours, and then clean it very well,
How you clean the dishwasher?
paying attention to the filters and to all the nets over there where food can attach and accumulate over there. You have to change the filter. I don't know exactly how to change the filter over there. You have to change the trays. You have to have new trays for Pesach if you want, for dishwasher. And then after you have done cleaning inside and out, you put it once to go, with the detergent and water without any dishes inside, and that's about it. Tea kettle, the same, you have to clean it and wash it very well, and then put it with hot water, let it boil. Usually it's enough, but they always say better time do for Pesach.
What about the
Samovar,
water?
right? The
Samovar,
samovar,
yeah,
the one for
Alright.
Shabbat.
Not even that. The one that you put Poland spring water on the cold and hot water dispenser.
Okay.
But
So
you
once
change the
can be
valve,
used?
right?
Hmm?
Don't you?
Years ago, when we asked about the bottles for
Yeah, but
the
it's only
Poland
water,
spring,
it's not in there.
yeah, but I don't know exactly how good they wash this big stuff. They don't usually wash it, and we cannot really use things that were. You don't know what people put in their house before it's picked up by these people. They put all kind of stuff sometimes inside. So they're allowed to use the 1 gallon Poland spring. They're allowed to use, but not the big ones. Well, we used
The
to.
water is supposed to be OUP or no?
Water doesn't have to be OUP, but if you have it OUP, it's better. Usually we have a new glass or bakbuk chadash. We used to have this thing in Israel. Because people they used to recycle but we don't have it here. There are some bottles of water that are from glass, and we have to make sure that they are bakbuk chadash. Anyway. The samovars, the how you call it? The
Urns.
urns.
Yeah,
The urns for Shabbat. So they said better not to and to have a new one for Pesach. Because sometimes people put on top breads or burekas or something, chametz, to warm on Shabbat, and you won't be able to make it hagala because it's a huge thing usually. So, but if they say if you never put anything on top of this, so you clean it very well, and then you put water, let it boil, and leave it for 24 hours, like exactly on Shabbat, and then spill the water afterwards. A hot plate, better to have for Pesach, they say. Because plata, because people put to warm the challah and burekas and some other chametz in there, and so it's going to be very hard to kosher it 100%.
What about the metal piece that we put on the stove itself, on the fire directly?
Yeah, also has
So
to
you
be
don't have a
separate.
one for Pesach.
That's what it is, anyway.
Or you clean it very well, and you kosher it by putting it on the fire, because the libun is putting it on the fire. You have to hold it with what's that? With something that something that will hold it on top of the fire until it becomes red. This
Plata.
thing.
Plata.
Hot plate?
No,
No,
not
no,
red.
it's the
Some
comes
kind of
that you hold, but it has to be metal, not plastic.
Okay, what else we have? The sink. The marble counters, the sink, and then we have the stove. The marble counter or counters, you clean it very well, paying attention to cracks and stuff over there. If you're able to, some marbles can accept boiled water. Okay, so you pour boiled water and then clean water, wipe, and there's a chumrah. Usually we use this chumrah, we cover the counters afterwards. There's all kind of way of covering. I usually buy this, you go to this hardware store and they sell this rolled nylon covers. And you cut it the size that you need, and you measure it, and you put it all over, wherever you need, you put those, usually very good. And this is what you do. Some say that it will break, and if it breaks, so they say it's enough that they just cover it. Okay. Next we have the sink.
What do you cover the counter with?
I told you, either this plastic
What kind of plastic?
roll.
The thin one like this, the clear?
No, not thin ones.
Thick ones.
Thick
Thick
ones,
ones,
very
thick
thick.
ones.
Rabbanit
It's like a
Yehoshua,
table
thick
top, huh?
ones.
Vinyl, right? I
From-
think called vinyl.
Vinyl.
Vinyl, yeah.
Or very, very hard, if people like it,
Plastic?
foil. No,
Oh.
well, very hard, strong,
duty.
heavy duty. But they're not so comfortable because you can get.
And the water gets underneath us.
Huh?
The water gets under.
underneath. Okay. The sink you have to clean very good. You use bleaches and stuff, until it's sparkling, until it's clean. Even where the drain is, you clean very well.
Shumanit works very well on the thing.
And after you finish, you're done. You pay attention to the faucet and clean it also, because we always touch it. There's a lot of details in there. You have to pay attention to all these details. And after you're done, you pour boiled water. Usually the boiling water part is when you do the table, when you do the counter. So it's also this. Put also on the walls of the sink, and at the bottom of the sink, and all over. And then cold water. Usually for stainless steel sinks, that's how we do. And then also on top of this, we put a net, something, so that the dishes won't touch the sink itself.
I put the rack, but it's still
You
like
have to
the
be
fourth.
careful also with the walls.
Somehow
If it's a
they're
ceramic sink, so they say we cannot really kosher so much ceramic, but it's good after you pour boiled water to buy those covers that they sell in town variety, those covers and put inside, and this is how you'll be able to put dishes inside. If you don't have it, so don't put dishes inside the sink during Pesach. It's hard, but that's what
I
it
want to
is.
ask you something.
Yes.
The hot water when we pour it on the counter, can we use it from the urn that we used it for 24 hours?
No, the hot water has to be boiling water. Sometimes the water that you have in the urn is not so hot. It becomes to boiling and then it cools a little bit. It's not so hot. You don't see that it's bubbling inside. You have to wait, either electric kettle or the one that you put on the stove. Once it's boiling, it's boiling. We use the one that we put on the stove, the old style. So once it's boiling, you quickly do it again. You wait a little bit until again it's ready, and then you do the other part, and then halavi, and then here, and then there. It takes time.
Rabbanit, the teapot is okay to use regular, or it has to be the Passover one to boil the water?
The teapot has to be shel Pesach. It's good
It has to
question.
be
Has to be
Pesach?
shel Pesach. Okay.
You can even use regular pots, right? We use regular pots. I mean, Pesach pots, but doesn't have to be tea.
Oh, it has to be
kettle.
Pesach?
כן, קומקום צריך להיות של פסח.
Why not?
Why? It's only boiling water.
Yeah, but you have to, you want to kosher it for Pesach. The kumkum usually that we use to kosher, it's usually for Pesach.
But whatever it is, it's boiling water.
Azman.
Oh, okay. I
But
didn't
you
know
wash
that.
So
it
you
in
clean
the
it
Chametz
before.
environment, right?
So I usually don't take out my stuff until I finish. Yeah.
We
Counters.
always put this kumkum, this
Last.
tea kettle, in a special section because this is the first thing that we need as we use the Pesach. So
Okay.
we learned mistakes from last years. Now the stove. Okay, the stove again is the hardest thing because it takes the longest time. So you put this. You take out whatever you can part, okay, and clean each thing separately. Sink them. Soak them, spray them. Any way, any method that you have of cleaning the tripods, the thing, you have to use them. My suggestion to have new tripods for Pesach, okay, and have them, keep them from Pesach to Pesach, so that you don't have to kosher them every time because it's so hard to kosher them. Tripods is the
Grates.
The
grates.
The grates are so hard to clean because it collects
The metal piece on top.
the metal that you put the pot on top
Come
of
fork with the two. So,
grate. It collects a lot of dirt during the year. Usually you make boyjons, you make all kind of stuff on these, and things can spill from so put spray, clean, soak. I don't know how much you clean.
Can we boil them?
You can boil them, but boiling is not enough because usually you use it with fire. So boiling is not enough.
Okay, no, I'm gonna wash everything and then boil it. Whatever there is left.
Boiling
over,
is
we're
not
gonna
enough
clean.
unless you take. There is some special hot stones or hot metals that I told you heat it until it's red, and you pour with the tea kettle hot water on top of this and then on top of that. But that's not enough so much for this because it's usually with fire. So if, let's say, you're koshering your oven, you make self-clean or something, you can put these tripods or these grates inside the oven whenever you're koshering it because it's on high heat for a long time. It's there. It's not so good, they say, for the tripods, but what can you do?
So we have to cover them after?
And afterwards, yeah, we cover them. There's this,
You have to cover?
and after that, we
Some
cover.
with the foil.
Don't buy this. Buy heavy duty, the
What?
strong,
Heavy, yeah.
heavy duty foil. That they're not so thin, and usually it keeps. They don't. And
What if
they-
I did chatzilim then, and then it got really dirty? Can I change it on Pesach itself?
Yeah.
Oh, I can change it.
Sure.
Oh,
Some
okay.
different ones.
I thought I can.
No.
Okay.
Because the first thing that you do is a boyjan. Sometimes kaved, the
Okay, so I wasn't
liver.
sure.
And of course it gets dirty.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good to know. We can change.
So after you have cleaned all the little details, the buttons, and that you turn on and the burners, you have to scrape so much. You have to scratch and clean, and right. all this. The burner is usually, after it's cleaned, you put it on top of the fire. The fire starts, and this is how usually it gets kosher. Within fire, whatever is there, it usually cleans. The grates I told you. After we have koshered the stove, we cover it as we said before, and it's ready for.
Can I use it right away, or do I have to wait also 24
No,
hours?
you can use it right away.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's usually not practical because you have to do so many things before you start cooking. So this is regarding dishes and stuff.
Just a question of
Yes.
topic. Rice.
Rice.
Just I don't want to forget.
I'm coming to rice.
Okay.
So there are generally some things I told you. Books, it's good to clean them. If you don't have a chance to clean them, to go through each and one of them, so okay, but don't bring them to the table where you eat. Where you eat. Books. Don't open books in the table where you eat, because the tables are cleaned and they're there, and the books you used before, you put it on a chametz table. People eat sometimes when they read, and there's could be crumbs, could be. So you have to be careful.
If you open a book and there's something
The
inside.
siddurim that we use during the chametz, we have to sell it?
The what?
The siddurim during chametz.
Sidurim during chametz. What kind of
What we're
sidurim?
using.
Bilkonim, benchers. Benchers you have to
Benchers
send.
or-
Bencher you have to sell. You cannot use them on Pesach. It's very dirty from chametz. You asked me. So if you see some kind of, you're not sure it's chametz or not chametz, just get rid of this. But chametz usually it's an amount. Like if you have something like kazayit, something like that, this is when it's really a problem. You have to burn it during Pesach if you see. But if it's just a little bit and you're not even sure what it is or whatever, just get rid of it. Medicine. You want medicine? They use all kind of chametz in the mixtures of medicine also. And sometimes they have starch in there. There are real things in there. And so there's a difference. Medicine that people have to inhale through their mouth, like with the inhalers, you have to make sure that you clean the inhalers. And if you're not able to clean, that's what it says, people should buy new ones. Syrups, all kind of syrup, if it has a good taste, so you cannot really use it because that's the taste. But if it's bitter, it's not tasted the medicine, and you really have to take it, it's okay, they say to take it.
It's hard.
Even if it's bitter, and sometimes people have to take it, they can take it. I'll come soon to medicine that comes in the form of a tablet or capsules, okay? So if it doesn't have any taste or it's a very bitter thing and they have to use it, so they can use it. But if it has chametz, he knows that there's a chametz inside, it's better they have to buy it before Pesach, this medicine. And if, let's say, it has capsules, it's better that he drinks it with the capsules. This way he doesn't really taste the thing that's inside, and it's okay this way. All kind of food additives, all kind of natural homeopathic medicine that people have out there are not allowed to use during Pesach because they're based on alcohol, that's based on chametz, and it's not a must. Vitamins, okay? It's not a must. It's not a medicine that you have to take, and usually vitamins are not kosher for Pesach, so for 8 days you're not going to use them. Ointments.
The food for the fish.
Food for fish, you should buy not the chametz ones. They're a bit
Ask
more
them in the store,
expensive. They're a bit
know.
more expensive, but you can find it. It's made from
Shrimp.
shrimp and stuff. Yeah, this is not chametz.
They
it's
know,
a-
like, you want the kosher pasta, they give you shrimp.
So all kind of ointments and shots, it's not a problem unless it's designated that it's. I remember once my kids had chicken pox and the doctor recommended Aveeno, and Aveeno, even the box shows that there's oats over there. It's all made from oat milk, So this is mamash chametz, better not to use it.
So if I have cream, I put it away, but I don't know whether I need to or no. I have a lot of Aveeno creams at home, right? For just like regular use. I just sell it also.
Yeah, put them in the chametz section.
What about Tylenol for children?
Tylenol, not חולה שיש בו סכנה, if it's a dangerous situation, he can take anything in the lactose, not even a question. Okay? חולה שיש בו, dangerous to him. חולה שאין בו סכנה, and again, if the medicine is tasty, so all kind of syrups, all kind of tablets that he sucks and they have a good taste, so he has to sell them with a chametz. He cannot really use them. But he can take, as we said before, tablets and capsules, that doesn't have taste or they're bitter. So this would be okay. Wanted to mention there is something that's called, where did I write it? Yeah. There is something that's called noten tam lefgam. Noten tam lefgam means that whatever I mentioned before, medicine and some other things that people use, all kind of, let's say, detergents and stuff, they say that even though it's not kosher for Pesach, some say they are allowed to use it because as they burn them before Pesach, they use it in a very high heat. It's not already a kelev, a dog cannot eat from it. It's lo machal kelev, it's lo machal adam. So some say it's okay to use it where it comes in cosmetics, where it comes in makeup and stuff. But again, if you see that the main ingredient is chametz, better not to. Leave it alone and you can use other things. So this is regarding regarding food that you asked before. Usually, Bukhari people, we eat rice on Pesach and rice only. Bukhari never ate kitniot on Pesach. So kitniot, which means hummus, chickpeas, and all kind of beans. And somebody asked me last week about string beans. String beans is not, we're not eating that for Pesach too.
Fresh also?
Fresh also.
We don't eat fresh?
We don't eat fresh? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I asked, we're not eating string beans on Pesach. Huh?
If we ate it?
So you didn't know.
But it's her tradition, not like rice.
So Bukhari people never ate
They
kitniot.
sell it on UP.
What?
Not for us, but
Okay,
Is it
recently
it's for
in Israel, so there's, but that's Bet Yosef or something, the Sephardim,
those who hold it.
that they allow people to use tchina that makes from sesame and hummus. We never used to eat these things, and we as Bukhari never accepted kitniot, so we're not eating those.
What about corn?
Corn we don't eat.
Mushrooms also no.
Mushrooms is okay. Mushrooms is okay.
Rabbis
Some
do
rabbis say that
Yeah.
it's grown this way, but it's okay. It's okay.
So even fresh mushrooms we can use?
Usually whatever you buy for Pesach, you have to. Fresh mushrooms, it may be okay, but we usually, if it comes in a can, there's good hashgacha on this. It's not a problem. Now, anything that you buy, you make sure that it's kosher for Pesach. Even though you go to a very, very kosher store, and they sell a whole section of just kosher things for Pesach, you have to check each thing. Last year I was there, and it was a kosher store, and they sold salt. Didn't say OUP, said just OU. But it had iodine inside, iodine. And it says iodine, some salt are iodine, some are not. The one that are iodine, iodized, usually they're not kosher for Pesach.
What do you mean, iodized it's not for Pesach?
It's not. So, and they had it in this section. We had to go and tell the manager and make sure he removes it. They put it there by mistake. They didn't put it purposely over there. But you have to make sure everything that you buy, that it has a proper good hechsher. Okay? Everything you buy, you have to buy. It's not the fact that you used it last year and the 2 years before doesn't mean that even that now also it's kosher.
What about the soap dish and the toothpaste?
So soap dish, detergent.
Yeah, no.
Some say it has OU, it's enough. You don't have to buy especially for Pesach. If you insist, it's fine. I remember we read in Rabbi Blumenkranz's book that Palmolive and all these brand names that has the OU, it's usually fine. Also toothpaste, like Colgate, and he said that it's fine as long as it's a new one. Toothbrush, you should have a new one.
Yeah.
And what else?
Rice.
Rice, usually we buy the rice that is kosher for Pesach. Usually the Goku rice, they used to give it hechsher for Pesach every year, so it's fine if this is the rice that you use. They also bring rice from Israel, Sugat or some other companies that are kosher for Pesach. But even though it's kosher for Pesach, you have to check them. You check them 3 times before Pesach. You have to sit and pay attention to what you do, because kids could distract you, or I don't know what. You have to pay attention to what you do to make sure you're looking for, maybe by mistake there's a grain in there or something.
Have you ever found anything?
Once I found a barley. Once in my lifetime I found a barley inside the
I've
the
never
rice.
seen
But usually they're clean both.
But then you clean anyway from other stuff. So
Yeah, you clean for usually, but today, Baruch Hashem, they're clean. You don't have the worms and stuff, but usually they're clean. But you have to clean.
What about basmati rice allowed?
Basmati, if you have it kosher on Pesach, so it's fine. Yeah. You just have to clean it the same way. Okay. יש מושג, there's a concept that's called חמץ שעבר עליו בפסח. If there's a chametz that you didn't sell, it's a problem. You cannot use it and you cannot enjoy it also after Pesach. So you have to be careful. Try to look, the things that you have at home. Make sure that they're sold, the right way and everything. And then, Bezrat Hashem, you should. Of course, there's millions of other laws that we're not able to cover. But I was trying to talk to you how to kosher the house for Pesach. Don't forget that the Pesach is a holiday for women as well. I know that we're making most of the major job when we clean and we cook, but you also have to be part of the Leila Seder. You have to see it, you have to read, you have to understand, you have to enjoy. If you're coming exhausted to Leila and your eyes keep closing, okay, we miss it. If you have a chance, I don't know, somehow, to lay down, I don't know, half an hour before, or somehow, so you'll be able to go through that evening, not only to serve food, but also to sit and to read and to enjoy, would be so much better. Your kids asking you questions, you're supposed to answer them. You're supposed to know things. Pesach is also a Thanksgiving Day. During the year, Baruch Hashem, there's a lot of sgulot to say Nishmat Kol Chai, to say Zeh. Here's Pesach, where you're supposed to say Nishmat Kol Chai. Here's Pesach that you say Hallel Bivracha, with a blessing. So take advantage, say thanks to Hashem, enjoy the holiday, have Chag Sameach, v'kasher.
I want to say something
Sure.
about the rice again.
Okay.
If we're cleaning rice now, we have to buy kosher Pesach?
If you're cleaning rice now, rice that is kosher Pesach?
No. If we cleaning the rice now for Pesach, we must buy kosher Pesach rice?
You mean
You clean now for Pesach a rice that's already kosher Pesach?
no, can we just buy regular rice? She's asking
If
regular
I'm
rice.
gonna go to the store, I have to buy kosher Pesach rice?
Yes.
Not regular or you?
Kosher Pesach. The
Well,
koku, I told you, the
doesn't say,
koku, it doesn't say, but
Yeah,
it's a new pack.
No, saying the basmati if I'm going to clean.
No, kosher Pesach should have OUP because, huh?
Cocoa, but this rice is not good for this year.
That's
Which
what you
one?
heard?
I heard that.
I'll ask the rabbi, I'm not sure, I don't know,
Because I
he
heard
didn't
that
tell me.
some people say that it was allowed, and rabbi said this, it's a problem.
Okay, we'll find out about the rice, okay? Regarding the basmati rice, it has to have OUP because as they process the rice, they put starch. And this starch could be a problem. We don't know exactly what is the source of this starch. And this is the reason that we have to buy special kosher Pesach rice.
If it says OUP, can we clean it after?
Clean after what? After Pesach?
Pesach.
During Pesach? No, you clean for Pesach from, could be that there's a grain over there. You cannot find this grain during Pesach. You have to clean right before.
But it says OUP then.
I know, it's OUP, it means it's not glazed or something, but they don't check it from grains.
So we need to get a separate tray, right, to clean you for the rice.
Do it on paper.
I usually put a big paper on the table, a no clean table, and I clean it.
You put paper?
Big paper, yeah.
Card.
It's like the one they use for projects, like
You have a roll that you use for giving a gift, for wrapping gifts. A
Okay,
white one,
there, okay.
right? Take a one like this, or the one that you put on your shelves, the big one, not only just, and open it, and
Okay.
it's good. You don't have to be a new
That's
tray.
good. Okay, okay.
יופי, שיהיה בהצלחה, enjoy, thank you so much, God bless you, חג
Thank you,
שמח.
Rabbanit.
תודה.